Hi, I'm Dr. Amy Climer. Thank you for your interest in Climer Cards. I am super excited to share with you some of the features and the differences between the three main plans that are available to you. In case you don't know, Climer Cards was designed to help you engage with your clients through trainings, coaching sessions, facilitated experiences, and to really help your clients and the groups you're working with deepen their connections with each other and as well as with the content. So there's a lot of different ways you can use Climer Cards, and so I'm excited to share with you some of the features. All right, so the first thing is, if you haven't already, you want to go to climercards.com/virtual, and there you will see the different plans available. So there's three plans that I'm going to talk about: the basic, pro, and the team level accounts. There's also an enterprise account, which is really a customized plan for facilitator teams over 10 people. All right, so the basic and pro account are both for individuals. If you're a solo trainer, a facilitator, a coach, this is what you want, just a basic or pro account. Okay, a couple things to note. First off, obviously price is a difference, but the monthly accounts are good if you just want to have a sporadic use. Maybe you're going to use it in January, but not again till April, and a few times a year. You can get a monthly account, and you can just start and stop your account as you need to. But if you're going to use it more regularly, I would highly recommend the annual plan because you save quite a bit of money with that route. All of the plans include a free 30-day trial, so you can test them out. If you're not sure if you want a basic or pro, I would say sign up for a 30-day trial with the pro level, and then you can always downgrade at the end of that 30 days, or before the end of the 30 days, rather. Okay, so the big set difference between the basic and pro is the number of active sessions you have. It's either 3 sessions or 10 sessions. Again, this is related to how frequently you're using the account. An active session is basically a session here where you're getting a unique URL for that particular session. You can kind of think about it as a different session for each group or each client that you're working with. And you can, after you have used a session, you can archive the session, and then it no longer counts as an active session. Active just means it's like ready to go, the URL works, and you can use it with a client. All right, so I would say the biggest decision maker for most people between the basic, pro, and team level account are the other features you get. So the original deck of Climer Cards is available in all of these accounts. So I'm going to enter into a session right now and show you what that deck looks like in case you haven't worked with it before. This is the original deck of Climer Cards. These are all watercolor paintings that I did, and I specifically selected these images because they're really good for us as humans to make metaphors out of. So there's a lot of symbol, there's different varying meanings for each of these cards, and there's a lot of kind of interpretation that participants can choose from these images. So that's the original deck. That's included with every single account with virtual Climer Cards. And then on top of that, you get additional Climer Cards if you have the pro level or above. And so let me show you what those decks look like. As of this recording, there are a total of 6 decks in here. You get the original deck, plus you get the emotions deck. So this is great, particularly if you're doing coaching or therapy, but actually even if you just want to have a conversation with your team or with a group more about what they're feeling. And what I've noticed is that most of us don't have a huge emotional vocabulary. And so if you ask like, oh, how are you feeling? You're like, oh, I'm good, fine. How are you doing? I'm busy. And we have like a few words we use a lot. But when you have a selection like this of over 50 different emotion words, it allows us to get more intentional, more specific, and more accurate with the emotions that we're feeling. So I would definitely recommend this if you want to have any conversations like that. The next deck is called the Traffic Light Debrief Deck. And this is a great deck to use at the end of an experience, say at the end of a training where you want to find out, okay, given everything you've learned, what do you want to start, continue, or stop doing in your life or in your work? And participants can click on that image, they type in their name, and then why they chose that card. Then what you could do is have them choose each. So any of these decks, after a participant makes a selection and chooses their card, they can make another selection. So in this case, you can ask everyone to pick all three, or you can ask them to pick one, however you want to frame it. The next the next deck is the People and Technology deck. And so all of these are images that are somehow related to people and technology. And this deck you can use like the original deck of Climer cards, where you ask a question and then, say, pick a card that represents blank, whatever it is you're trying to get the participants to talk about. But you could also use this deck as an ideation tool. So let's say you've done a brainstorming session and now people are running out of ideas, which is pretty common, and then you want to push them further. So you could put a prompt up here at the top that says, like, hey, given our particular challenge, use these images to spark more ideas. What ideas do you have? And it may be that they click on these rockets and then they can type in whatever their idea is. So this is a great tool for generating more ideas. And then I have two decks from other creators. One of them is the WeConnect Deck from Chad Littlefield. And this deck includes 30 thoughtful questions that are just great to help us connect with each other. And you could do this in a couple ways. You could ask everybody to pick a question they want to ask their teammate, or they can pick a question they want to answer themselves. And then you can use that to spark conversation, in breakout rooms, or if it's in person, people can share the question on their phone. And then the last deck here is the Changes deck from Michael Dietrich Chastain. And Michael is a licensed therapist, and he's identified that there's 7 areas that we as humans typically focus or trying to change in our lives. So there's cognitive, there's heart, there's the lion symbolizes courage. Anyway, there's 7 different areas, and then you can use these questions to talk about changes that we want to make. So this again might be great for coaches or therapists, but it also could be great for teams as they're working on, individual or professional or team development or individual development. And you can have each person pick a question that they want to answer or that they want to explore related to whichever area they're trying to change. So there are, I believe, 60 different, there's 7 areas, I think there's 49 questions. So 7 areas and 7 questions per area, I believe. So those are the additional decks you get. The other thing, I'm going to jump down here to the bottom, is you can also create custom decks of cards. So if I exit out of this session, you'll see over here, I can create my own decks of cards. And this could be a couple of things. One, it could be a new deck that is based on images that I upload. So it could be photos that you've taken, drawings you make. If you're a teacher, maybe you have everybody in your class draw something, and then those become a deck of cards. Or it could be photos that you've taken of anything you want. You could also create a deck of cards from the existing cards that are already in the app. So all you do is you click on this button that says Add Cards, and you could, let's say you wanted to do a deck that was only images of animals. And so I'm going to click the fish, and then the butterfly, and then I'm going to scroll down to the next deck here and see if there's any animals in here. I think there are. There's some elephants in there. Oh, there's the giraffe. And then I'm going to add those new cards. Add the selected cards, and you can see there's my new deck. And you can make this as big or as small as you want. One note, if you upload your own images, please make sure that you have permission to do that, or that you own the copyright. Please don't steal images randomly offline and upload them. That's not cool and illegal. So let's go back here. The other option you get with the pro level and above is you can use the sessions either synchronously or asynchronously. So the default is you can only use them synchronously. That's what you have in the basic level account. And what I mean by that is that in order to use a session with a group, you as a facilitator need to be logged into your account and in that session. And then when you share the URL with them, they'll be able to respond and answer that. If you have the pro level or above, you can also use the session asynchronously. So you could send the link out in advance and everybody could respond, and then you show up and you maybe have a conversation about the responses, or maybe you use that as a way to design a program. Or you could have it as homework afterwards. And this could be cool if you are meeting with the group multiple times. Perhaps you send them a question via Climer Cards that they answer in between the sessions. So you have that asynchronous option if you have the pro level or above. And then finally, you have the option for the PDF to create a PDF report from a session. So you have a nice cover image or cover page, and then here's the prompt at the top of the screen. And then you have all the responses from the participants. So this can be great if you want to share out with your clients afterwards, or you want to use it in some ways to analyze the results. And you could download a PDF report and an Excel spreadsheet report if you'd like. The last thing I will say is if you have the team level account or above, then you can white label your own decks. And so if you upload your own deck of cards, then this Climer card logo at the top can be replaced with your logo. So that may be important if branding is important to you, then you could check that out. And so if you're an individual, you want the basic or pro account. If you have a team of facilitators, then that would be up to 10 people. That's the team account. And if you have more than 10 people, reach out to us and we'll set up a customized account for you. If you are a student or a teacher or a nonprofit and these prices are prohibitive for you, please reach out and we will be happy to work with you to make this accessible. All right. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I'm happy to help. And there are a number of other videos that go into more depth about how to set up your first session or how to create reports. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the different plans available in Climer Cards. Enjoy!